In this video, we are going to create a pivot table. A pivot table is a powerful tool to calculate, summarize, and analyze data that lets you see comparisons, patterns, and trends in your data. For this pivot table, we own a business, and we want to know how many different call types there are by sales rep. Instead of counting up each type of call, deleting or moving rows, we can create a pivot table and pivot the data. It is important to analyze your data before you begin to build your pivot table. Here's our data. Notice we have a column for service rep, call type, call code, and customer service scores. The rows show the different dates. To create a pivot table, place your cursor in the cell below the header row. Go to the Insert tab and choose Pivot Table. Review the table range. The range should include the headings and all the data. In this case, we have a named range called Calls that encompasses all the data we'd like to place on the pivot table. Choose On a new worksheet, click OK. Notice we have a blank pivot table. On the right, we have our pivot table fields. Pivot table fields need to be chosen to add to the report. If your pivot table is missing pivot table fields, you can find them again by going to the Analyze tab in the Show Group, choose Field List. Do not be afraid to drag and drop the field names into the lower quadrants. We can filter our data, drag our field names into columns or rows, and only numerical values will show up under Values. In this example, we want to show the call type by rep. We want the service rep name to show as the column headings and the call type to be the row headings. We will drag service rep to columns and call type to rows because we want to know the number of call types. We drag call types to values to count the number of call types. There are two different labels that will show if the pivot table is selected. Notice, when the pivot table is not selected, the field names and pivot tables no longer show. The Pivot Table Tools tabs are Analyze and Design. The Design tab can change the format of the pivot table. Pivot table styles, style options, and layout are located on this tab. The Analyze tab includes filters, slicers, refreshing the data, and pivot charts. Let's take a look at the pivot table we have designed. We know that Bruno took 20 calls. It is easy to view how many calls each rep were responsible for. Our boss only wants to focus on bug reports. Filtering is easy with pivot tables. See the arrow next to the row labels? Click the arrow and you can filter bug reports. Uncheck Select All and check Bug Reports. This changes the look of the pivot table and shows what the viewer chooses to see. Click OK. You have just learned how to create a pivot table.